Good morning, everyone. It's lovely to be here. My name is Nwabisa Mayeng, and I'm an entrepreneur, an academic, and I'm also a mindfulness practitioner. I've been practicing meditation for about the last decade, and it has been really, really extremely beneficial in my journey as an entrepreneur, because as we all know, there's a lot of an uncharted path, and we really never know what's going to happen. And at times one needs to come back to center and be still. So I will start with the presentation. Okay. So the question a lot of people ask is, what is mindfulness? What to expect from the mindfulness journey? So this presentation, I'll basically be covering what is mindfulness for business. How can mindfulness help you in this time of COVID-19, because there's so much uncertainty, and resilience, and positioning yourself post COVID-19, especially a change in mindset, and the importance of digitizing your business. And I think James will speak briefly as well about technology, and then tips to start your mindful journey. So a lot of us, I mean, we've never experienced a pandemic before. It's one of the first. We live in a time where we experience a global pandemic for the first time, and there's a lot of nervousness. It's probably one of the worst global calamities that we've ever had to encounter. And there's a lot of stress-based reactions. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty. A lot of us, our productivity levels have decreased because we don't know what's next. And for a lot of people, they've lost their livelihoods, and a lot of us now are looking at a change in strategy. But in all of that, how do you remain calm as you move along? So basically, I will be introducing the concept of mindfulness. And there's a famous guy by the name of Osho, and he says the mind is a beautiful servant, and it can also be a dangerous master, because at the end of the day, we always have to come back to center and let our thoughts help us navigate what's new. So the mind can serve you beautifully, or it can also be a dangerous tormentor that continuously reminds you that you're not good enough, you're not going to get out of this life. So mindfulness is about training your mind to be present, to be in the present moment. And they describe it as awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally. Yes, we are worried about tomorrow, we are worried about the future, but in the present moment, the question becomes, how can I do it? And how does mindfulness help me in the time of COVID-19? Stress reduction and mindfulness doesn't just make us happier and healthier, but over and over again, it's been proven that there's a competitive advantage of any business that adopts mindfulness. And there's several businesses the world over that have implemented and developed mindfulness strategies as part of their business offering. Google, Netflix, Nike, you can count a few global businesses that practice mindfulness as part of their wellness programs. So how can mindfulness help us in the workplace? It can help us to reduce our stress and our anxiety levels. When you are more mindful, you're able to be calmer, and thus increase your emotional intelligence and resilience. And resilience is one of the concepts that we'll be focusing on in this presentation. When you are more mindful, you are able to communicate better. You don't communicate from a place of fear, of ego, but you communicate from a place of presence and calmness, so it really helps in the workplace, especially when it comes to communicating with other employees. So it's very important with that. And once you're mindful, you are more focused. You concentrate on one task at hand. You know, there's several theories about multitasking, but over and over again, it's been proven that multitasking is not as efficient as we think it is. And mindfulness really, really enhances creativity, because once you're in a mindful space, you're able to think more clearly and think about concepts more open-mindedly. And the question now becomes, how does one start with this practice? How do I become more mindful? There's simple ways that you can start. You know, you can start by walking and taking mindful walks, you know, walks where you just try to clear your head and try and focus on the activity that would be at hand, that would be walking. And some people who have not practiced meditation, but meditation really, really helps with calming yourself and calming your mind. And one of the things that can help you to start meditation is to work on your breathing. Be present and observe how you breathe at every single time. I remember at some point I thought I could breathe, and I spoke to a yoga instructor, and they were like, "You're actually not breathing the way you should be breathing." So it's a simple concept, but you know, there is so much power in really concentrating on your breathing. And one of the most important things that guide us and help us to be more mindful is the ability to take control of our thoughts, you know, and be mindful of, you know, what we say to ourselves on a daily basis. Like COVID-19 at the moment, you can't be saying, of course we are all scared, but fear can't be one of your major thought processes. So be very, very mindful of the type of thoughts that you engage in. And what are the ways of the start looking at terms of in your everyday life? Things as simple as, you know, gratitude, being thankful you are alive. Uh, is going on right now, but we can practice small acts of gratitude. You know, I woke up this morning. If you still have a job, there's a job for you. And increasing awareness. How do you increase awareness? Be very mindful about your surroundings. For example, when you take a walk, be very mindful of, you know, the greenery around you. So increasing awareness really, really helps us to you know, increase our mindfulness, and also monitor your moods. Yes, we are, you know, we're human beings, and we navigate all types of emotions, feelings at any given time. But it's very important to understand why. For example, when you're fearful, it's very important to understand, why am I scared? What is leading to this type of mood? So that sort of helps you to become more mindful in terms of how you engage with your mood.
So ladies and gentlemen, in case we've also lost Nwabisa, I've lost on my side, please bear with us. Obviously, these are the challenges of the new normal, where network can be a challenge, and rather than traffic, network is the new challenge that we have. So let's just hope she will come back on.
Oh, apologies about that. It was a bit of a glitch, but we can continue. So yeah, it's very important to be mindful about your thoughts, and practice mindfulness on a daily basis as best as you can. So one of the things that we have to navigate, given the current circumstances, is the concept of resilience. A lot of us, as I said, a lot of us are entrepreneurs. Some people are employees. So life as we know it for most of us has changed dramatically. And resilience is one of the concepts that we should seek to adopt and, practice on a daily basis, because a lot has changed for a lot of people. What do we consider to be resilience? It is the capacity to recover quickly from difficult times, and also the ability to recover or adjust easily to misfortune or change, because unfortunately, only constant is change, and the only certain thing is uncertainty. So at any point in our lives, we will have to learn to be resilient. And how does one cultivate it? Because at the end of the day, hardship and failure are inevitable. We'll get tossed off the horse a few times, but the most important question is, how does one get back up? And COVID-19 has thrown us off the horse, and reality and, what we deem to be normal has completely changed. So one of the first ways to be able to adopt a resilient mindset is to embrace change, to understand that flexibility is an essential part of resilience. And by learning how to be more adaptable, we are better equipped to respond when faced with a life crisis. Sometimes it's easier said than done, but I think we constantly need to remind ourselves that the only thing is impermanence. And that's how we, start by cultivating a resilient mindset. And one of the other ways that we start creating a resilient mindset is through changing our mindset. And there's two different types of mindset, either in the fixed mindset, in the growth mindset. With the fixed mindset, you take responsibility for failure, and you make it, you personalize it. For example, my failure is a reflection of how good or smart I am. And we sometimes, the disadvantage is that we get stuck there, that, oh my God, I made this bad decision, oh my God, I should have done that. That was not a reflection of my entire personality. That's what happened. So a growth mindset is the ability to say, I have failed, but I can still make changes. I can still rectify, or what is the lesson from that? And one of the most important things that keep people resilient is finding a sense of purpose in life. A lot of us have been tossed off the horse right now, and a lot of us have had to redefine our purpose and determine on what keeps us going. So in the face of crisis or tragedy, finding a sense of purpose can play an important role in our recovery. And a famous psychiatrist once said, everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of his human freedoms, is the ability to choose attitude in any given set of circumstances.